Hi again, everybody, and welcome to TV 15 and Rougher Football. BiIl Huddleston with the coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. And Rafe, last Thursday night, fall break, things at times were almost perfect, and then at times it was where did they go? Because you knew in Booker T you had a team that was going to be fast, and that's kind of the way it ended up.
Oh, they're extremely fast, and we knew we had a big challenge ahead of us. We felt good about it. I still, I'd love to play them again. It was one of those situations where it's back and forth in the first half. It's 12-10, and we recover a fumble, and we're going to go in and score, and we throw a wheel route that's, we'd been practicing all week, and Jimmy's open, and we just underthrew it. They intercept it. Then they go back, and we hold them, and we go to punt, and they said we roughed the snapper, which, as it turns out, we didn't, but that's the way it was called, and so we go with it, and they go down and score and make it 19-10 before half. Instead of having a 17-12 lead going at half, we're down 19-10, which we're still in the ball game. I mean, because we'd moved the ball pretty much all night. One of the few teams this year that's moved the ball on Tulsa, Washington, but they have an outstanding team. Coach Caleb and his staff do a very good job. I was proud of our kids. We never gave up, and defensively, we held and held and held, but then 2 fourth down plays and a long third down play was a big difference in the game as far as for us defensively. And then offensively, 2 times we're down and we don't get in the end zone 1 time, and then again the underthrown pass. So it could have been different, but the bottom line is we did not win the ball game, and now we've set ourselves up for a must-win against Bartlesville.
Well, certainly that'll be a big ball game that we'll talk a little bit later on in our program all about. Before that, let's look back at some of those shining moments in the Roughers contest against the Tulsa Washington Hornets.
Here's a guy that we're going to have on today, and Caleb Webb, outstanding young man. There's Davion coming in through with a great play. Again, probably not, and Ty would tell you it's not his best game of the year, but this is probably the best competition he's played against as well, too. This in Midwest City. Jimmy ended up, I think, they held Jimmy intact pretty good. He had 57 yards on the night.
They never touched this guy.
No, Caleb had 6 sacks on the night, 15 tackles altogether, 2 caused fumbles, and then recovered one himself, which I'm sure will be a big play that he'll show here in a minute. Marcus with a nice hit. Here's Caleb with another sack.
Just a sophomore.
Yeah, a lot of these kids that you're seeing on film are just sophomores, and that's bright for the future. Sophomores and juniors. Jimmy's a junior. You just saw a catch by Jordan Bradley a while ago that's a junior. That's pretty good against the best player in Oklahoma. He gave a stiff arm and got into the end zone right there. Here's a fumble this is where we get a chance to go up 17-12, and we throw the interception right after that. They come down here, and I think this is on 3rd down right before we have the roughing the snapper call. Here's what I was proud of. We have not done a very good job. If you noticed all 3, and I wish it's almost where you could rewind that back, but the 3 defensive linemen come through. They've been blocking hard all night. We have been having a terrible time. Oh, asking you shall receive right there. But right here, you see they come through, they recognize screen, they get back, and nothing. And Caleb's there for it, and our 3 defensive linemen noticed it. And that's one thing that we've been working on hard defensively, because everybody's just been killing us with the slip screen and the screen. And that was just I know Coach will just tell you a perfect play. Speaking of perfect plays, right there to come through and slap that ball out. And
yeah, and there was just one shoestring tackle that kept him from going.
One guy that kept him from going. Again, Ty having another great night. As I said, had over 170 yards rushing, 168 passing, through 2 touchdowns, and ran for 1. And again, it was a rough night at times. We were a lot of feast or famine. We went and had great drives, or we went 3 and out. We had 3 turnovers for the first time on the year, and that was really crucial to us, because 2 of them was right after we'd got turnovers from them, and just unable to finish it off. But,
nice job there, double teaming on the receiver to slap the ball down.
Corners did a great job.
Continuing to see progress, Rafe, with the receivers downfield, making contact, adding yards after either handoffs or catch.
They do, and right there you see one. There's 2,
example.
And right there's the perfect one, right in the end zone, getting a great block by Jimmy. You can't take away what he just did right there, though. Either is that one. He's catching the ball while making a move, and he's a pretty special athlete as well.
He is, and the Roughers had a lot of big highlights. We talked about one defensive standout, Caleb Webb. He's going to join the coach and I, and don't be surprised when he tells you he's only 15 years old. Wow, Coach. Great things now as well as the future. We're going to find out all about CW, Caleb Webb, when we return on TV 15. Welcome back in this segment. In the highlights you just watched, this guy was all over the field last week in the game against Booker T. Washington. Caleb Webb, coach, defensively was a man on a mission.
He was. Caleb has been an outstanding player for us all year long. Had the concussion after the Putnam City West game, so we didn't get to play in the first 2 district games, which hurt us some in there because he is a force. He's going to be a dandy just to be a sophomore. But playing against Booker T, having 15 tackles, 6 sacks, 2 caused fumbles, and recovered one of them, and then scooped, and the kid dives to get him tripped up, or he'd have probably scooped and scored. Pretty good night for him. We like to. Now, of course, we're going to keep him grounded because the first we like to have him tackle that 4th and 15 quarterback when they scored. But other than that, you couldn't ask for more from this young man. He played an outstanding football game. And anytime, we don't give tackles out for free, and you have 15 tackles, you've got 15 tackles, and pretty amazing. And again, the 6 sacks was just a great night. But if you remember that one caused fumble, which he scooped up, he had a chance just to tackle the kid, but he had the awareness that the guy's holding the ball out there, and he tomahawks it down and causes the fumble first. And that's what I was more proud of than anything, to have what are you, 15, 16? Are you 15-year-old kid?
Just turned 15.
Just turned 15, to have that knowledge and awareness to take care of that instead of just a tackle. That's pretty good.
You had to feel pretty good walking off the field. I know everybody was down because of the final score, but you knew you brought your best game. Talk about what was going on with you as the play went on each and every snap of the football.
I was just trying to help our team out on our offense, to get them more plays on offense and keep our defense off the field as much as we can. And I was just trying to even though everybody was down, to pick them up and do me.
Caleb, let's talk a little bit about the defensive game plan. Now, it seemed like whatever it was that Booker T was doing, they never lined up to where they didn't have you matched up mano-a-mano, or either that or you just came faster than a speeding bullet because you seemed to be in the backfield almost before the running back could take the handoff.
Coach Sexton, he wanted us to build the cage because they're fast. We're somewhat fast, but he wanted us to build the cage around them so we can keep all the fast people in and just beat them down.
Now, Coach talked about 15 tackles, but I'm sure there's one more tackle you would like to have to make that 16. Tell me about that memory.
It's a bad memory. I mean,
go ahead.
I made up for it. I mean, I can't do nothing about it right now, but I should have made that play. I should have wrapped him up and took him to the ground, but.
Well, he like you said, he made up for it.
Yeah,
and Caleb, what I like is we've been trying to get him a little bit more as a will linebacker, but we keep him out in the other hybrid spot that we've had him at. He's also played a lot for us on offense as well. He's our power back in there. He has a touchdown on the year and about 80 yards rushing. And usually when you see him coming in on offense, you know that he's either going to get the ball or he's certainly leading us to the ball. That's probably a tendency, but we'll still take our chances that he's going to get there. And if there's a guy coming as a linebacker, we feel like he's going to get that block.
When that fumble was there for you to take, to reach out like Coach and rip it out of the guy's hand, walk me through what you were thinking at that immediate moment. I
was thinking, if I hit this ball up, because he ain't holding right, and his hand's too small for the ball, I can get it out and get a fumble and pick it up. I might be able to score with it. No.
How much fun would that have been to be able to not only make the hit, cause the fumble, pick it up, and dash away to the end zone?
It would have been fun. It would have gave our defense a little breather, give our offense a little time. It would have got everybody hyped up because it's a fumble recovery.
And that's really kind of what I see from this, as Coach Sexton calls it, death row D defense, because you guys get passionate about play. Talk to me about that.
I don't know, because Sexton, he makes defense fun. He makes all of us we all love defense. We just go out there and have fun. He let us just do us, have fun.
Well, obviously with those 15 tackles and 6 sacks is a pretty good number. Now, Coach talked about the offensive side. When you come into there, do you kind of feel like, okay, the opposing team already knows that I'm probably going to get my hands on the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. They got to stop it first. So, I mean, they can't stop it. They can't stop it. They can't.
But you're just a sophomore. Where are you coming up with all this confidence?
I just always had it when I was a little kid.
Now, where did you go to grade school?
I went to Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin. What youth football league team did you play on?
First, I started at the Paul Young League at the Saints. Then I moved into the IMC for the Ruffers.
And all the time you were growing up, you couldn't wait till the time you could put on this big green or white helmet, whichever unit we come up with, right?
I could. Well, I just love watching because I had family playing. I just love watching them play Friday nights. I was like, I want to play Friday nights.
Well, obviously, Coach, he learned by watching, and now he's doing each and every week for the Roughers.
Well, we're very blessed to have Caleb. He's a great young man and going to be an outstanding football player. Again, everything that he's doing, just to think that he just turned 15 years old and doing it on the highest level, the future looks bright for him for the next couple of years, I believe.
Absolutely. C-Dub is what I call him. Caleb Webb, he wears number 12 for the Roughers. Whether he's on offense or on defense, he's easy to find out there because he's making things happen. When Coach and I come back, we'll talk about this all-important game this week against the Bruins of Bartlesville. That after this timeout, you're watching Rougher TV. Back on TV 15, BiIl Huddleston, Rafe, Watkins. Coach, I don't know what you're feeding Caleb Webb, but it's working.
Well, we needed to keep doing it to a lot of them. I wish I don't know what we're feeding him either, but he's a great young man, great athlete, and is going to be a super player by the time he graduates from Muskogee High School.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of super efforts, though, Rougher's going to have to bring that best game again this week, again on the road, going to Custer's Last Stand, Custer Stadium in Bartlesville, against the Bruins, who have a new head football coach in Lee Blankenship.
Coach Blankenship has done a great job getting these kids ready to play. You know, their record is still just, I think 2 or 3 wins, but the enthusiasm they have. If you remember last year, of course, they were going through all the turmoil that they had with the coaching change in the middle of the season last year and stuff when they come in here, and for whatever reason they wanted to keep throwing it to Devin Hillman, and he had like 4 interceptions.
Right.
And I think returned 3 of them for touchdowns, and embarrassingly scored 71 points. But that's not the same team we'll see.
No.
They have been scoring points on everyone. Last night we had a JV game over at Tahlequah, and we were in there. Coach Platter and myself was in there with Coach Wilson from Tahlequah, and they had some Collinsville film, which Collinsville shut out Tahlequah, who has a nice offense, and Bartlesville played them game 2 or 3 in the season and was just moving the ball up and down the field. So offensively, they are very, very strong. Defensively, they've been giving up a bunch of points. Offensively, we're going to have to score when we get our opportunity to, but defense has got another challenge. This dang league of ours has almost turned into the Big 12. Everybody can score.
Absolutely.
And so your defense has to be A1 every week. And so we got our work cut out for us. We're down a couple of players in the secondary right now due to some injuries, even one that we picked up last night at the JV game because we got, we just on our numbers, our sophomores have to play,
right,
whether they're starters or not. And so we had G went down with a injury, which he was kind of trading off some time out there with Campbell. But, we just lost some depth, but we're going to get out there and have a great week of practice and see what we can do against Bartlesville. Because, again, they'll be strong offensively. They've got a great running back who used to be a Rougher when he was, I think he was a 5th or 6th grader, and then they moved off for a different job for his dad up there at Bartlesville. But he's a great running back, and they're doing good things offensively.
Well, it should be an exciting ball game, and like you said, Coach, it's a must-win situation. You win, you're in. You don't, and
well, then you have to depend on other people, and you have to beat a team that's number 1 in the state. Which we're certainly looking forward to that game. But first things first. Right now we control our own destiny, and then what happens after that is just we beat Bixby, then you can move up. If somebody beats us a Pulp or in there, I just don't want to have to depend on other people. If we take care of business ourselves and go and beat Bartlesville, then we're at least in, and it could be from 4th to 2nd still. I mean, if you want to look at crazy scenarios, but the bottom line is we win this week and we're in, and that's all we're worried about. You get in and you got a chance.
Absolutely. If you get an invitation to the dance, you're going to the party.
Well, we're one of 8 that has a chance.
Absolutely, and the Roughers will try to seal that Friday night when they go to Bartlesville. Hope that you can make the drive up Highway 75 to join the Green and White as they take on the Bruins. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff there at Custer Stadium. If for some reason that you can't make it, as always, you can join us live online, live stream coverage, audio as well as video. See all the game and watch it from wherever you are, anytime, anywhere on MuskogeeAthletics.com. Coach, let's go get the W and get in the playoffs.
That's what we need. Thank you, Bill.
Head coach Rafe Watkins, and our guest this week has been Caleb Webb. We thank you for joining us again here on TV 15. And as always, it's a great day to be a Rougher.